Welcome to the Literacy and Economic Development Summit hosted by the Center for Development and Learning. I really want to give you just a little background about the Center for Development and Learning and who we are and the work that we do. Everyone is empowered through literacy, and we truly believe that. That is the vision we're working for here in Louisiana, where we're rooted and founded, and across the nation and beyond. Our mission to advance literacy and learning through evidence-based practices in the classroom, home, and community really speaks to that work. We're taking this conversation to the community. We're taking this conversation to business and industry to say, yes, it's important that we allow our high school, our young adult learners to really be empowered and to really be supported and build those skills to prepare them for the workforce. But it's also important as business and industry partners that you understand why that third grade reading level is so critical.
Today, I spoke about Louisiana's current literacy landscape, but then I also talked about the model that Mississippi has adopted since 2013 to focus on literacy statewide and to also improve our literacy outcomes and to also add to provide opportunities to ensure that our teachers were prepared, that our students are prepared and supported, and that our families are engaged. And we also saw success with our reading and math in 4th and 8th grades. And so I think so many states are looking to Mississippi to see what we did and what we're currently doing to ensure that we are addressing these reading challenges for all of our students in the state.
We've actually been really fortunate, especially the past several months, just being able to have very dynamic conversations with legislators about this work. And I think prioritizing those conversations and building those relationships with different people in business and industry at the DOE so that we're all on the same page about what works, what needs to happen, and those conversations just continue to flow.
And I'll just add in, I think having the priority around early literacy and ensuring high quality early child care centers and high quality seats, that's also another important area that needs to be addressed.
We need to build the knowledge and capacity of our educators that are standing in front of our children. And once we started to roll out our statewide professional development training around the science of reading, then as we moved along in the continuum of the implementation efforts, then we ended up having a better pool of candidates. Fast forward to present day, some of the challenges that we have are around the pandemic. So it's like we're back sometimes kind of to square one. Now, how do you move forward after your students have been so heavily impacted by the pandemic? So we had to be really innovative.
I think the key there really is for our economic developers and our industry partners and so on to understand the importance of the foundational literacy at the early levels. I think a lot of people do understand that without that early foundation, you don't get up to the level of talent that we really need to drive our economy forward. But we really need, I think, a broader recognition of that and more dedicated resources. We really need everybody as a community coming together around this issue. We need to focus on multi-generational approaches. We need to remember the individual and the family. And that means really everybody that's involved with human development needs to be at the table and fully engaged.
Literacy and education go hand in hand. Literacy is education, right? You have to learn to read to learn. And if you look at the numbers and the NAEP scores that were presented today on the states that have implemented literary teaching tactics that CDL is promoting, these tactics have boosted test scores across the board for children in Mississippi and Florida. To educate children, it costs money, and Louisiana, The state funds our public school systems heavily, but a lot more money is needed to address concerns regarding curriculum instruction and implementing certain curriculums, instructions, and teacher professional development that can teach reading in a way that closes test score gaps, that improves the lives of low and moderate income children in many of our low income school districts.
If you look at the data that we have, if you want to go all the way to our workforce situation, we've got university studies that have told us that we need at least 56% of our adult working age population with a post-secondary degree or greater. We have 44%. We've got a big gap there. And guess what? It all starts in the early years. Because if you look at the data, the kids that had a strong foundation in early education, early literacy and reading, they're the ones that go on, that graduate from high school, that go to post-secondary and get those jobs.
So for 30 years, the Center for Development and Learning has been serving Louisiana and beyond in the area of literacy and learning. To learn more about us, you can visit us on our website, cdl.org, or you can follow us on Twitter at CDLTeach or Facebook, CDL Teach. We have exciting announcements coming up and information, but we'll also have resources for parents and families and educators throughout the year.